Our senior reporter there, Griselda Lewis, wrapping the developments in court today. And of course, staying with this particular story, there was some confusion last week when we saw a familiar face showing up in court and he was robed. And there were lots of questions about whether or not Malesela Teffo was back on this particular matter. And there were so many questions that were being asked about his presence in court. So let's try to get some answers now. The disbarred advocate Malesela Teffo joining us live now. And of course, talking about how there is that court challenge now. So let's get a lot, as much as we possibly can, from him this evening. Thank you so much for your time. I wonder, what really happened last week when you showed up in court? There were some reports suggesting that you had met with the judge, others saying that it was still unclear whether you had met with Judge Maumela. So did you meet with him? And if yes, what were the contents of the meeting, if you're able to share?
Good evening, good evening, the listeners and the viewers of SABC. On the 2nd of May, indeed, I appeared at court as a watching brief. You remember that in this regard, we talked about two cases.
Yes.
636, the case currently on trial, and then 375 of 1/2019. This is the case that whereby I am watching brief. So on the 2nd of May, I appeared as the instruction of the watching brief because the witness, the current witness, Togo, is the witness of interest in case number 375, where I am the watching brief.
So who assigned you to be on the watching brief there?
Senzo Meyiwa.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So then on the same day, I also had more information. You remember that this case was adjourned on the second when they come back. It was after 6 months. So during these 6 months, a lot had happened. There was some development. Among them, we no longer having case 1 S363, S636, and 2 S375. We're now having case number 3, case number 4. Case number 3 is the first Lawrence case 210 of 3/2023, whereby is the case against the senior officers of South African Police Service who were in that house on the day Senzo was shot and killed. And then case number 4 is case number 278 of 3/2023, which was open in Sandton. And that case, it has to get a permanent case number in Cape Town because the incident happened in Cape Town.
So, Advocate Teffo, pardon me for coming in there. My apologies. We don't have a lot of time. So, was that the reason why you were in the judge's chambers? You wanted to discuss all of these cases, or why exactly were you there?
Yes, and as I said, that Togo is the witness of interest in case number 375.
Yes.
Whereby I am watching brief. So it was important for me to be there when Togo testified in that case because of the reason that I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a witness of 375. Because why I'm saying so is because in case 375, that's where Baloyi and Advocate Mshololo, they've concluded to say the trial on 636 will proceed. After the trial, if they fail to convict anyone in 636, they will now revert to 375.
Okay.
Which is a dream. That will never happen. So now, on the same day of the 2nd, then I requested to see the judge in the chamber so that, as is the protocol in terms of the court proceedings, as I was coming, as I was not part of the proceedings previously, so I came today, it's proper that we can, I can make sure that I relate everything in the chambers before I come in the open court. Yes. So by that time, my colleagues, they've already agreed that, yes, we are going to go. Things changed when I tell Baloyi said, no, we cannot go there before judge calls us. I said, no, judge cannot call us. I have already spoken to the secretary of the judge to say we request to see him in the chambers.
All right. So
yes.
Pardon me. So then I need us to get to another issue just before, our time expires. There is, of course, what you said, that there's now a legal challenge against your, the decision of the court to disbar you as an advocate. And I wonder, how far is that particular legal challenge? Because we spoke to the LPC today. We wanted to get a sense of, just from their vantage point, where this particular matter is. And they say that they don't want to get into a he said, she said debate. If you have a strong case, you would have persuaded the court to not strike you off. And any process of readmission is a process. So how far is that particular process? Is it in court? Is it enrolled?
That one is, it's sub judice, because the judgment is there. I challenge the judgment through the variation. So my lawyers are attending to it, as well as the LTC. That is not an issue in so far as this matter.
So it will go to court soon?
We've done the variation. We are waiting for the judge. The same judge who did it. Remember, variation says the judge who made the decision on the certain matter, if you bring the variation application, is the same judge who will have to address the same matter. He or she can address that matter without calling you in the court, can do that in the chambers.
All right.
Without calling the parties. That's how variation works.
We're out of time, but let me ask you this, and please respond very briefly. There were claims, I'm sure you saw this particular report, that you were trying to, you approached the Meyiwa family saying that you wanted to give them around 50,000 rand from a mysterious donor. There were concerns that this may be construed as a bribe. Can you confirm that you did call the family to ask for this money? And if yes, what was the purpose?
That issue, let me correct you, Pisa.
Yes.
It's not 50,000. It's 30,000.
So it's 30,000.
That I deposited into Senzo Meyiwa's account. Why so? It was that was agreed upon on the last week of March, a week before Good Friday. It was out of my heart as an African. Because I already know now, I know how struggling is that family of Meyiwa. And I've been made or been to be acquainted with the situation during the time of Senzo when he was still alive. During that time, there will be a goodwill. Senzo will try to give the donation to the poor family around Umlazi, like December or Good Friday. So I was doing, I spoke to Senzo first, on that the last week of March, to say no, because of the situation that I understand. The children of Senzo, Namsa is the one staying with the mother, and then there is the one of Manjiza and Siso himself. So I spoke to Siso. Siso said no. If you are prepared to do that out of your will, advocate, we will be accepting.
So but some have seen this.
Speak to my sister, speak to my brother-in-law, and I spoke to the brother-in-law and the sister. They are so welcoming, and then they said, no, we'll tell mother, and then you'll be coming. Because I was, that money, I was to go to Durban on the 5th of April, and then I was going to hand over the money on the 6th, so that the same 6th of April, I'll be coming back. I'll be coming back in Gauteng. Unfortunately, when I was preparing for the ticket for the flight, Siso phoned me. I think it might have been around 9 or 10 on the 5th of April. He said, advocate, my mother has spoken to the AfriForum people, similarly these people. No, before that, he said, I sent you a WhatsApp. There is a letter on WhatsApp. Can you check that letter? I said, no, can you tell me about the letter before I check it? He said, no, I want you to read that letter. It's from AfriForum. My mother has spoken to AfriForum. The AfriForum wrote a letter to you. Then I wrote the letter, I read the letter. Thereafter, I went to Siso. Siso said, advocate, you can see that my mother is not prepared to meet you. Why should you bother yourself to come here for the people that they don't want to meet you? So I said, all right, it's fine. I'm not going to take this in a tin salt.
All right.
What I will do, I will deposit this money into your account, and then you will share with Namhla and the baby of Mantisa.
Okay.
For the Good Friday, yes.
So, Advocate Teffo.
That is that. And the important thing, one very important bit about this witness, Mtogo, is that Mtogo is the witness whom I made a submission during the time when I was in this case, that he is that eyewitness who will come and say who shot Senzo. So
okay.
What happened? Because we don't have a justice in this country. Advocate Maloi, he knew that Mutoko is that witness. Because I told him, when I wanted to know that whether Kelly and Zandile and Mulongwe, he will call them as his witnesses. Then that's where I revealed that Mutoko is that witness who will say Kelly shot Senzo.
All right. Advocate Teffo, unfortunately, we're out of time, but thank you so much for talking to us this evening. And then let's see, as the cross-examination continues, if, some of what you're saying tonight is, in fact, going to come out. But thank you so much for your time. That was disbarred Advocate Malesela Teffo, who says that, of course, his matter to challenge his disbarment is, in fact, sub judice. So let's see what happens with that one as well.